Math 1332, Chapter 11, Statistics, Section 1, Gathering and Organizing Data, Video 1, Data, Statistics, Population, and Samples. The sections in this chapter that we're going to look over give you a very, very, very brief introduction to statistics, which in my opinion is one of the better math classes that people can take, even if they don't think they'll ever use math in their life. Although this class, Math 1332, is designed for students who are going into non-scientific and non-mathematical areas, statistics, in my opinion, is the class that has a better chance of being useful in a wide array of careers. Not necessarily calculating statistics, but understanding what statistics means. The sections that we're going to cover in this class are just going to give you a brief idea of some of the underlying foundations of statistics. If you ever get the opportunity, though, I would recommend taking a statistics class because it can be very eye-opening. All right, so we're going to just define a few terms, and you saw some of them there briefly, but give me 1 second. All right. First, let's define what we mean by data. Let's highlight the word that we're defining. Data are measurements or observations that are gathered for an event under study. In general, in statistics, you want to find out information about something. And so you gather data by measuring or observing. And it should be noted that statistically speaking, a measurement is something that's numerical, such as how many siblings do you have, or what is the current temperature at a certain location in the Arctic Circle. An observation is considered to be something non-numerical. For example, what is the type of dog that a person owns, or what is a person's hair color or lack of hair color, or what is a person's favorite social media platform. If you think of gathering data as asking a question, then a measurement is when the answer to that question is a number, and an observation is when an answer to that question is not a number. For example, we want to study the number of local honeybees in various parts of the county. So we count or measure the number of honeybees in various hives. Or we want to know what percent of area high school students plan to go to college. So we ask each student if they plan to attend college and write down, observe their responses. In that case, we ask them a question, do you plan to attend college? The answer is not going to be a number. It's going to be yes, no, maybe, haven't decided yet, or something like that. So what are statistics? Statistics is the branch of mathematics that involves collecting, organizing, and summarizing and presenting data, and drawing general conclusions from the data. It's kind of important to point out that there are two distinct halves of this definition. The first half is collecting, organizing, summarizing, and presenting data. And the second half is drawing general conclusions from the data. Now, there are some statisticians that would cringe about calling statistics a branch of mathematics. Die-hard statisticians insist that statistics is its own subject and not a branch of another subject. I like to call those people wrong. And my argument is, let's see how much math you can do without statistics, a bunch. And let's see how much statistics you can do without math. Not much. There's some you can do, but a lot of it is based heavily in mathematics. All right, we got a couple more things to define here. The first is a population. A population consists of all subjects under study. The key word in this definition being the word all. For example, you want to study all honeybees in a given county. Now, you might realize that that would be difficult to do because you don't even know how many there are, and bees tend to move around. Or you might want to study all high school students in a given city, which might be easy depending upon the city and might not be easy depending upon the city. Depends upon if it's a large city with tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of students, or small cities where the number of high school students could fit inside one classroom. Yes, I've worked in schools like that before. A sample, by contrast to a population, is a representative subgroup or subset of a population. In other words, sometimes when you want to study a population, it's too large, so instead you study a sample. For example, we can measure the total number of bees in a county. One second. All right, had a very important typo to fix. We can't measure the total number of bees in a county since bees tend to move around a lot. So we measure those that we see at various hives at specific times of day. Pretty confident that we're not measuring all bees, but a sample of them. Or a city may have tens of thousands of high school students, so we survey those in randomly selected classes at randomly selected schools to get a reasonable cross-section of those students. And this is actually very common in statistics. In fact, it's pretty much the norm that a population that you're studying is so large or so dynamic in the sense that it's in a constant state of change that it's impossible to measure it 100% accurately. So we take a sample, a subset of that population, measure it, and then try to say things about a population. Well, there's not much math to do in this video. It's just introducing some terms, namely data, statistics, population, and sample.